My name's Lauren. I'm coming to you from Georgia today. I have an order of ducklings coming from Meyer Hatchery in a couple of days, so we're going to set up my brooder. The brooder that I have behind me is 4 foot by 4 foot and could be used for chickens, guineas, or ducklings. But today we're going to set it up specifically for ducklings. Let's get started.
My brooder is inside of a temperature-controlled garage, and it's completely predator-proof. So I'm able to control the ambient temperature in here, and also the stapled hardware cloth on the brooder is plenty to keep my babies in and my outdoor cats out. If my brooder was someplace else, I would consider doing things differently to make sure that everybody was safe. The first thing I'll set up in my brooder is my heat lamp. I make sure it's very secure and not near anything that might be a fire hazard. Georgia's pretty warm in the summer, so it can cause a problem with overheating. Luckily in my garage I have a split unit, so I'll keep that at about 80 degrees for the first week and 75 after that. Once I turn on the heat lamp, I'll aim for the temperature under the lamp to be 90 to 95 degrees for the first week, and plenty of space for them to get out of the heat too, into that ambient temperature of 75 to 80 degrees. For my brooders, I prefer to use horse pellets for bedding. These pellets are made from compressed, kiln-dried pine. They break down into really fine pine shavings that are twice as absorbent as regular shavings. I've found they really reduce the smell of the brooder, especially for ducklings, which have a tendency to be extremely messy. I prep my horse pellets in this old plastic cooler, but you could use any container you have. I'm pretty conservative with how much water I put in there to start, just to make sure that I don't over wet them. I just want them to expand a little bit and break down into the finer shavings. I find that leaving the pellets as they come in the bag can be too rough for the first week or two for fragile new babies' feet. I let them soak in the water for 5 or so minutes until they start to break down and expand. And then I spread it out throughout the whole brooder. If I didn't make enough the first time, I'll have to put in some more. The pellets can be maintenance cleaned in between deep cleaning and kind of scooped out, similar to the way you would clean a cat litter box. Next, I prep the food and water for the ducklings. When the ducklings are really small, I prefer to have a smaller food and water container since I check on them several times throughout the day anyway, and it makes it easier for me to monitor what they're getting, and also harder for them to make a huge mess. As they grow, in a couple of weeks, I'll switch out these small water and food containers in exchange for a larger waterer, and I elevate that so it's not getting splashed everywhere. And then a specific feeder just for ducks. I choose not to do open waterers in my brooders to prevent drowning in tiny ducklings and to prevent messes in larger ducklings. As the ducklings get bigger, I do want them to experience some of that water splashing around, so I will take them outside on supervised trips to a safe enclosure and let them splash in a small pool and explore the grass. But for now, we have the brooders set up and pre-warmed to 90 degrees under the light with plenty of space for them to get away from the heat too. So I'm ready to go get my ducklings. My USPS holds live birds at my local post office. They gave me a call this morning at 8 a.m. to let me know that my ducklings are here and ready for me. It's always worth checking with your local USPS post office to see what their local procedures are, because they can vary a little bit. In this box, these are Muscovy ducklings, and they got a double batch of grow gel in shipping to stay hydrated. These other ducklings are khaki Campbell and magpies. They're so cute. When I put the ducklings in the brooder, you have to exercise some caution with the Muscovy ducklings on how much you give them when they arrive. So, I'll allow them to drink for 15 minutes and then remove the water for 15 minutes and repeat that 3 to 4 times before giving them full access to water. Enjoy your new ducklings! Let us know in the comments if you have any questions or duck brooder specific tips of your own to share.